We're going to talk about a feeling that's, well, it's super personal, but at the same time, almost everyone gets it. It's that sense of being a little lost. That huge gap between who you are around other people and who you are when you're all by yourself. Wow, this just hits it right on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling. You're out there, you're laughing, you're part of the conversation, and then you get home, you close the door, and poof, it all just vanishes. It's such a weird, jarring feeling, and a lot of us know exactly what it's like. So, let's dive into this idea first. We'll call it the social mask. It's all about that massive contrast between the person we show the world and the person we are when no one's watching. And it really is like a tale of two different people, right? On one side, when you're with others, it's easy. There's laughter, there's talking, you're on. But then, when you're alone, the script just disappears, and what you're left with is silence, emptiness, this weird lack of any feeling. It really is like stepping off a brightly lit stage and into a completely dark, empty room. So what's actually going on in that empty room? When all the noise and distractions finally fade out? Well, that brings us to our next idea, facing the void. And this is really what it all comes down to. When there's nowhere else to look, you put the phone down, the TV's off, you suddenly find yourself face to face with, well, yourself. It's this incredibly direct, totally unfiltered moment that can be, let's be honest, pretty uncomfortable. Let's actually put a name to this so we can get a handle on it. Let's call it inner emptiness. It's that very specific lack of emotion that just kind of washes over you when all the usual distractions are gone. It's not really sadness, it's more like a deep, profound nothing. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been there, sitting in the quiet, and you're actually trying to dive into your own head, just digging around, searching for something, some little spark of clarity that'll make sense of that empty feeling? Now, I know this all sounds a little bleak, but what if it's not? What if that feeling is actually essential? This brings us to a huge shift in perspective, the necessary silence. We're going to look at this whole thing not as a problem, but as an uncomfortable and absolutely crucial path forward. Here's the thing, and this is so important. It's not a failure to feel this way. It's not a sign that you're broken. Sometimes that silence, that solitude, it's exactly what you need. It's the only way to really start looking inward. You see, there are two sides to this whole thing. On one hand, yeah, you've got the challenge. It is uncomfortable. It is confusing, no doubt about it. But on the other hand, there's a really powerful message hiding in there. It might just be your mind's way of shooting up a flare and yelling, hey, it's time to stop and take a real moment for myself. And if we can actually learn to listen to that message, well, that's when everything can start to shift. Which leads us to our final part, a chance to begin. This is all about finding the opportunity that's hiding inside that quiet calm. And here's the big realization. This emptiness, this quiet calm, it's not a void. It's an opportunity. It's a blank page, a quiet space where you can finally truly hear yourself think and figure out what comes next without all the pressure from the outside world. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we grab that opportunity? Well, here's a path to get you started. First, you've got to consciously take a moment on purpose just to look inward. Second, you start asking yourself the big questions, the important ones about your life. From there, you begin to reconsider what you really want, not what everyone else thinks you should want. And finally, you use all that new clarity to redefine your priorities and reset what truly matters to you. It's a way to find and reconnect with your own inner compass. So I want to leave you with this one last thought. The next time you find yourself in that quiet, empty space, instead of immediately reaching for a distraction to run away from it, just try listening to it. Just for a moment. What is your silence telling you?